It's special because the customers own it, basically. Robinsons were going to sell it on, they were putting it up for auction, and as soon as it's the only pub in the area that's still open within like a 10 or 15 minute walking distance to anywhere else, they all decided to club together and buy the pub. So you'll not find any other pub, I think, other than the Lake District at the moment, that is sort of run by the customers. So it has a very homely feeling, everyone connects really well, and it's very friendly. So I think it's very special like that. It needed quite a bit of work doing to it, and because of the way the pubs were going at the time, Robinsons, who were the brewery, decided they didn't want to do the repairs on it. They didn't think it'd be worth the money. It cost too much for what the pub was making at that time. So they were basically putting it up for auction for whoever wanted it and do with it whatever they wanted. And basically the customers, like I said, it's the only pub in the area, and the customers didn't want to lose it, so they basically just decided to buy it. Yeah, I've been doing this for about 4 years now, and I've worked in quite a few different places. I've had pubs that have been big companies. I've had a little country pub in the middle of Devon, and I've had a bigger pub in Preston that was sort of more for the younger people, whereas you get more of the older generation in here. But I think just because half the people that come in have got a share in the pub, they seem to care about it more, and they look after it more, and there's never any trouble because everybody gets on so well. And I think you just get that sort of feeling in the air, and it just makes it completely different. Each share is £200, and you have to buy each share is £100, correct myself there, but you have to buy a minimum of 2 shares. Obviously, because it's only been running for a year, and this is the first major sort of big AGM and meeting that we're having. A lot of the money that was initially got together was to do the repair works. There was a brewery built on site with roof, new windows, stuff like that. So a lot of the big money at the minute is still being spent on the repairs. But eventually, once all that is done, people will start getting something back. Yeah.
But what I want now, I said, all that in the field, you deduct it for me. I said, no, you can do that, I'm not done with that. It's going to really deduct that and save me a job. And the accountant, it'll cost me. It won't cost a lot for this accountant. I need the money.
On the address, it's still not, so I'd say it's a part of Greater Manchester. But everybody says no, Salford. Everybody that lives here says no, Salford. We don't live in Manchester, we live in Salford. If you don't live in the area, or you're not friends with someone that lives in the area, nobody knows about it. So you don't just get sort of anybody walking in off the streets as they're passing. You only come in if you actually know about the pub. We have that many people, taxis and even police. Sometimes when the police come to visit us just to do checks, you see them driving at the top of the street and the bottom, just driving around in circles trying to look for the pub. They don't think to come down this street. It's so funny sometimes. But yeah, it's good.
Because of a long-going back condition I was suffering from, that I had to move to a much smaller operation, and a brew pub would have been ideal. And if if I had to choose one pub in the British Isles, I'd like to set up a brew pub in the Star Inn would be it. And the fact that it's actually happened is quite incredible. I'd never thought Robinson's Brewery would let it go, for one thing, and actually be in the right place at the right time. It's wonderful, and it's a lovely place to end my brewing career.
Yeah, so 3 weeks' notice that the pub was going up to auction. It was being advertised as a former public house, so even though we're still drinking in it, it was already being sold for development. And a sort of panic, mixture of panic and doom around the place, really. And we found out actually just leaving the pub one night, the landlady told us on the way out. And we actually phoned Jim up that night, just let him get home, and said, you know, what we're going to do. Then we went and knocked on neighbours' doors the following evening and said, you know, can we do anything? And no idea really what we were going to do, except that got a bit of momentum and the rumour went round, you know, oh, they're going to try and do something about it, and then it became we're going to try and do something about it. And so we just came up with all these schemes really to, well, first to go to the auction, which we thought we had to do it anyway. We didn't think we'd necessarily be successful. So what we did was we said, right, anybody who can commit any money to it. We left envelopes behind the bar, and you put on the outside of the envelope how much money you can put in, and then inside you put your contact details and then seal the envelope. And we promised to only open the envelopes if we bought the pub. So we could total up all the pledges from the outside of the envelopes the night before the auction. We decided we had enough money to go and bid, worked out a maximum bid that we could go to, and got everybody in the pub for it sort of last night of opening and said, shall we go for it? Everybody said yes, so we did.
But what I want now, I said, those aren't in the years. You deduct it for.
We had we had the 80 grand to buy it, and then a bit over 20,000 to refurb and get it open again.
You sort that yourself, you're self-employed. I'm just thinking, you know, just get up, so I don't get in shit again. You won't get in shit again, just keep going. At the end of the financial year, which is, you've got about the 5th, 6th day for the end of the financial year, we've got to put your tax returns into Christmas. Keep money yourself and then just take account on what you've done. Or you let him pay your tax, because our tax is all anyway.